Hi everybody, we're basically ever here. The Little White Pill. It's Friday, and today we're going to talk about whether or not entertainment is important and discuss why, if it is. So yeah, icebreaker question.
Ooh, I forgot that I had one.
An icebreaker question.
Yes.
Yeah, we always start with that.
There's a thing now.
Why are you here?
That's not an icebreaker question. That's a fucking philosophical question.
That's a beautiful question.
Yes, but I get it breaks the ice.
Like here, like at this table.
I like it when people answer that the way you think about it.
Whichever
When
way
someone
you
asks
think.
you, why are you here? You already started to formulate a response in your mind. So, what is that response?
Why are you here?
To talk.
Hey, Wabora, Joe.
That is
Yes, like.
It was an honest answer though, that's what came to mind.
What do you want me to go fancy? I can go fancy if you want.
No,
she can
don't.
break it down. Why are you here?
I have no idea. To be very honest, I have no idea. I could come up with a million things and it still wouldn't feel like the right answer. So no.
It's like when people ask you what's your purpose in life.
My purpose is
That's
to
deep.
procreate.
That's,
You don't even want to procreate,
go
so
forth
then
and
what will your
multiply,
purpose
huh?
be?
I think that's the answer that people want. They want procreation to be your answer.
why are you
Okay.
here?
Like we are a
Why
species.
am I here?
Mm.
You always only find out why you're at a place after it's happened, then you realize. So I'll tell you afterwards.
Nice. I spent my whole life to come here.
The whole life.
My entire life has been to come to this place, to be here. So that's why I'm here, because my life deems it that I be here.
I'm here because I'm a product of sexy times.
I thought we were talking about here as in here.
No, not here.
That's the thing,
Wherever
you have
here
to
is
answer
fine.
it the way you think
I
about
was thinking here. Not here in this world as a being.
But like in this room.
Yeah.
Okay, so is entertainment important?
Yes,
Why?
because you can't be serious all the time. At some point, you need like to switch off because you're gonna overheat and then yeah. But I feel like there's too much emphasis put on entertainment.
Okay.
Like MTV.
MTV, Vuzu,
I knew something making music.
movies. Like most of TV
Is
is
entertainment.
entertainment. Even the intellectual stuff has an element of to
It can't
keep
just
your
be
attention.
intellectual, otherwise people won't watch.
Yeah, they'll watch MTV.
Yeah.
But
16
then
and
how do you know
pregnant.
what too much is? Like when is too much too much? Because
When it's Vuzu.
Wait,
Like-
why are we anti-Vuzu now?
If I'm not getting anything more than 5 minutes worth of entertainment, if I can't leave with something and say, wow, that made me think, wow, like I never thought about it that way, or wow, I never knew this idea or this concept existed. If I can't do that, then it's too much. Even if you're entertaining me, you must give me something worth thinking about.
But then people spend 9 to 5 at work already consuming and absorbing information and great things. At varsity,
They're just bored.
well, think about varsity. If you get home 5:30 after your semester test, you want to get home and just have you play nonsense just because your mind wants to relax.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, you're different then. Like now,
I don't.
because it's 5 to exam time, I'm going to take 2 days off
To do nothing.
to do nothing.
That's not entertainment. That's
Yeah,
relaxing.
but I'm going to relax via entertainment. And
Okay.
then Paula, and then I'll be a student again.
So you think people watch too many movies and
No, that's not the problem with watching too many movies. It's what you watch.
so
Like it's fine. You can watch movies all day, every day, but if you can't learn anything, then that's too much entertainment for no purpose.
I agree. And
But-
not because she doesn't like honestly speaking, Vuzu is garbage. But
But you like it.
no, I don't like music. I watch, But
you
it's
don't.
like, you know,
It's like those
you
songs
could
you
surprise me today. Like, I'm just asking, please.
I'm
Like,
waiting for that
today.
moment.
You know what I'm saying?
It
Like,
will
I
come,
I don't know. Like, I can't. I don't know. Sitting in front of the TV and watching mindless
Stuff.
shows for a long period of time. At some point, you have to sit down and say, okay, but like,
What am I doing?
I could
with my
learn
life?
something.
I feel like that's when you get to the point when you say, "There's nothing to watch."
Yeah, it's like you're paying a lot of money. You're paying DSTV so much
For
for nothing.
I watch National Geographic.
Yeah, but they don't always have stuff that is interesting to
Oh my word,
me.
yes.
So like, I would
No.
like to watch. Let's say I'd like to watch a show on sharks,
Shark
but
Week.
they won't have sharks all day.
Mm.
You see, and they won't
Guys,
have sharks every
Can
day.
we just discuss how there's no history on the History Channel anymore?
Yeah,
It's
not
a history
anymore.
channel. It's Hitler.
Not anymore.
The history, no,
Most
it's not
of the
even.
time.
When it's Hitler, that's good because Hitler is history. Nah. But people buying old, forgotten, unused
Antiques.
blockage space, and selling the shit they find. That's not history.
Yeah.
Antique Roadshow is fine. There's a bit of history in that thing. Porn stars. Why? 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 No, why? Guys, even...
Because
even
they're pawning things that are a part of history.
no, even...
Yes.
This
a part
gun
of
was
what-
made
You know,
in
can I just say-
1876.
I thought you would.
What's
On the
that other
antique
one?
roadshow,
That's
they were
Storage
talking about
Wars.
porn stall.
There's Storage Wars as well.
No, Ponya PA.
I think that's a
Yeah.
very stupid show.
What? Antique...
Yes.
Storage Wars.
Yes.
Storage Wars is terrible.
I think that's really hard.
And there's this philosopher, I forgot his name now. I was trying to find it, but the Wi-Fi is terrible. He said that the biggest problem with Western society, this was in the early 1900s, was that the people tend to, use the time of relaxation to entertain themselves, but with mind-numbing things. You don't wanna be entertained in a way that enlightens you or builds you up. Like Tita was saying, she wants to gain from her entertainment. People don't really want to do that. You want to sit and you want to forget about everything.
Sure.
And he even
By taking drugs.
he claimed, pretty much, he claimed that Disney was like the most evil one of the most evil corporations.
What was?
Disney.
Oh, okay.
And he also said things like, he coined this phrase, now I can't even remember the phrase, where the current entertainment field, the movies, the music, it was all designed to distract you from
Oh.
the world,
Big issues.
the big issues.
Yeah.
Because now you have more blockbusters every now and then than you used to. Every movie is pushed as the biggest thing, and you have to watch it. You have to take time off of reading that book to watch this movie. And it's boring to be enlightened. People used to read Shakespeare for fun. Now if you try to read Shakespeare for fun, people will
It's
look
not
at you and
cool.
say, why are you reading it? There's a movie that's based on a movie that's based on the movie that's based on this book. You don't need to know this. So we've turned entertainment into this thing, this distraction. But another aspect...
But what's the definition of entertainment, Vela Vela here?
That's a good question. And
Is
another
there
thing,
any aspect of intellect that's supposed to be in? I mean, everything I said was just an opinion. But
Yeah.
I'm just looking at, if we looked at the definition of entertainment, I doubt we'll find anything about intellectual gain there.
I honestly think that entertainment is everything we do after we've ensured that we're surviving.
Sure, that's a good
So anything that excites you, basically.
Because let's be honest, human beings aren't living the life we were living at the start. It used to be you spent all of your waking time trying to stay alive. You have to get food, you have to get shelter, you have to protect yourself from danger. And then it became a thing of, okay, with our superior intellect, we've pushed it to such effect that, out of 7 billion people, you find that only 10 million are producing food. What are the rest going to do with their time? Then we develop things like economics, and we develop things like banking, finance,
Unnecessary industries.
in engineering, industries,
Tax.
like tax, things like that. Because that's what human beings are. So would you say that a soccer player is more important or as important as a politician? Is an actress doing the same thing in society, not the same thing, but on the same level as a doctor? Is a cashier on the same level of contributing to society as a musician? They're all providing a service. Is entertainment that important? Do you think that we could live a life without entertainment?
No.
Definitely not.
I think it depends on the definition of
Of
entertainment.
entertainment. And on top of that,
As we know it now, without proper definition stuff, like just what you think of entertainment, what you thought of entertainment before you got here, would you be able to live without it?
No.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's
Sometimes
what keeps
let's
us
go
sane.
Hmm?
It's what keeps us sane. Have you ever realized that in most type of movies or fiction where we have an oppressive regime, the thing they take away or they try to control is the type of entertainment. And it is at that point where the people in the fictional situation tend to start to break.
I thought
Well,
I
give
thought
us
of
an
it
example.
Animal Farm,
Yeah.
like, but they didn't take away entertainment. Like they provided entertainment for themselves, like like alcohol for the pigs. That was only exclusive to the pigs.
Yes.
That's a form of entertainment that
Yes.
was exclusive to them.
So they controlled the entertainment. So another way of controlling people is their entertainment.
I have current news.
Yes.
Rupert Murdoch bought National Geographic.
That name sounds very familiar. Is it
Yes.
one of those
He owns
News
Fox
people.
21st Fox whatever.
Fox
Oh.
News?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no.
exactly the mindset.
Oh, my
Because,
word.
like, they were promised, okay, because National Geographic has been family run since it started.
Okay.
So now they were promised, no, like, things would, like, they wouldn't take away from the content and everything. Things would
bullshit.
remain the same.
Fox News is the worst.
I just want to see, I just want to see what happens to it. It's like it's a benchmark intellectual magazine, National Geographic. So
Plus
now
the-
it's
the
been bought
channel.
by this consumerist, like, really disgusting, icky. I don't even know what to call it.
Very conservative as well in their views. They,
What, National Geographic? What?
Fox News.
Oh, okay.
They have this very one-sided view. It's terrible. I mean, someone made a bit of a, what do you call it, a hyperbole, an exaggeration of them, but it seems so accurate. He's like,
It's like not even an exaggeration.
the story is, right, Obama rescues man from a fire, right? That's how everybody else is reporting it. It's like Fox News would report it as Obama taking jobs from firefighters. That is how they view the world.
Yeah.
Like one group of people is terrible, or one group of people is okay, and it is us and our viewers. Everybody else is terrible.
Yeah. They were saying what, like, National Geographic stands for everything Rupert Murdoch's corporation doesn't. So how are you going to integrate two things that are completely on opposite? Like,
I don't
why
think
did
you
they?
can integrate them even.
Yeah, it's a takeover. It's not a merger. It's not we signed off to it. No, it's been bought. Anytime you are acquired, then you lose yourself.
Can I ask, like, it seems like, which yes, I also agree that the people who are in charge of entertainment and these entertainment industries and own the corporation, they are the antagonists in this scenario that we're talking about. But do people shape what entertainment looks like, or does entertainment shape what people look like? Because I feel like humans in themselves, our innate selves, we are hungry for
Sex on
mind-listing,
TV.
sex, rubbish. So obviously entertainment will only respond to what you want because that's how they're going to make money. But at the same time, have they facilitated that enough for us to only want that, like, chicken and egg sort of scenario, I guess?
Yeah, it is a chicken and egg scenario. What came first? Our thirst for the rubbish, or did the rubbish come first? Was it
There was
someone producing entertainment and realized, if I trash this down a little, if I sex this up a little, if I violence this up a little, people will buy this more than everything else.
It's
And
just
then
like social media, though.
Yeah.
If you post a nice political status, which is not very, like, flashy, you probably get like 3 likes, but
we say
people...
mini style so much.
Exactly.
God.
Exactly. So you tend to then change what you put on in order to get more
Because
attention.
you want that reaction.
The
But with
likes.
corporations, it's not reaction, it's money,
Exactly.
Mm.
Which is worth
which
more.
is nice.
Isn't it with human beings? You have to appeal to the lowest common denominator.
Like the thing that makes everybody the same.
Because the thing is, right,
Love
if,
for sex,
if
love for
you
money.
post something which requires a higher, we have to admit there's a bell curve of distribution of intelligence, right? And the way entertainment works is, if it's entertaining to the dumbest person, everybody gets it. So you have to entertain the dumbest person, which kind of means that you kind of have to dumb down bad stuff a lot, entertainment quite a lot.
Everyone said that, like, American television most of it is made for like a 12-year-old to understand.
Mm.
A 12-year-old can understand the Big Bang theories with the laughter in the background to
Yeah.
show you that this is
where
funny.
you laugh.
Laugh now, type
Yes.
of thing. So yeah, that in itself, I don't know.
And I mean, look at a show like Hannibal, which was cancelled because people said it was getting too artsy. It was getting too clever.
Was it cancelled?
It was cancelled.
No.
They
I
stopped.
was looking forward to the 4th season,
They
but
stopped making it because the viewership dropped because it was getting too complex, too clever. You know, movies. Look at movies that make the most money. Movies that make the most money have the most flash graphical appeal. Avengers. But if you look at the story, it doesn't. There's nothing. There's nothing there. It's not even like a clever movie. Like if you look at a clever movie like Up in the Air with George Clooney, it starts and ends at the same point. But for you to get to that point where it started and it ended, it's quite a beautiful journey, and it's very clever and it's very complex. But that will never make as much money as Transformers, which is terrible. There's no plot. There is nothing. It is filthy, empty trash.
You go
Very
from
colourful
one
and
fight to
bright.
another.
Yeah, you're just fighting and destroying things. Carnage, and there's no cleverness. So, I don't know, the entertainment industry is shaping the people. Because that is what will happen.
We are allowing it to.
We're allowing it to shape us, right? And at the same time, we shape it. Because it panders to the lowest common denominator of us.
It's like how I feel Bo, Zubs, the guy you were talking about earlier, tell me?
To me,
Mutumi, those kind
Bus
of people
driver.
will never ever
They won't
make
be,
it
they
big.
won't fill up the
won't-
door.
Thank you.
yeah.
They won't fill up the door. But those Caspers, the AKAs, will. Even if they have like one track that is heavy intellectual, that track is not important. The other songs are the issue. But yeah. It's the way, it's the future.
But then now the problem is also now artists who enter into the entertainment industry, who start out with all the great intentions and all the great like I want to spread my message of hope. Why
Some even don't even do that. I want to make money.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Money takes over, I feel. As much as like rappers like Dukes and Momoli and Toady Mac. Toady Mac, I don't feel like he's in between. You can groove with his music and it also has substance. But Momoli and Dukes Sangana, they would have never ever made it as big as Bo Casper and everything.
Did I even hear that name? My goodness.
You see?
There's a guy who reviews stuff on the internet, and he once said the reason why if you look at music, let's look at the top 40, right?
Future.
39 of those songs, you will sit and think to yourself, but this is actually terrible, right? And the fact of the matter is, people love, especially when it comes to music, I'm not sure, music and movies, let's say that. Well, you see this across the board with everything. People are so comfortable and they love mediocrity. If you are mediocre, you make people feel good, right?
Okay.
If you're a bit too intelligent, people feel intimidated, like, oh, that's a bit too clever. You know, it makes me think, it's challenging.
It's a car though.
It's a bit too challenging, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you think you're better than me because you know so much, you know? Why does this artist think he's better than me, saying all these deep things? And then, but obviously if it's less than mediocre, then it's trash. People don't like trash. So it has to look like there was some effort put into it. But it can't be too clever. And if you don't get that balance right, you will never get
You won't
massive
have a
hits.
market.
Can I just say, that Smack It in the Air song at Beyonce. To this day, I have no idea what it's about.
It has no purpose.
Somebody said, Ari, if anybody else had made this song, you'd be going on about how crap it is. But because it's Beyonce, it's good.
Yes.
We're not saying
So
anything
that's
bad about Beyonce. Please do not attack us very high.
Just in case they come after you, like these people are.
But you know what? Like what she said earlier. Sometimes you just want to be dumb. Like I also have moments, and when you put your phone on shuffle, and then it plays. Well, let's say it plays a two-sided self-portrait.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like
yeah.
I to million level machine, and then I'm like, no, I'm not in this zone now.
Yeah.
I want to be in
110
in this zone. And this
So you
zone,
got-
I don't know. Can you be intellectual in this zone?
No, we don't in public.
Yeah. Like
Some
listening
people
to really deep. I don't know if that goes.
Some people can. Some people can pull it off. Some people can hide their messages laced in nicely. You know, like Absol. He's very deep as a rapper, né? But his depth can be. He can deliver it in almost any way. You know, he's got songs like, let me think, Mixed Emotions, where it's literally partying. He's telling you about how he parties, but in it there's so much depth, such layers. Early days Lupe Fiasco. I mean, you could jam Kick Push anyway.
Oh, yes.
But if you listen to Kick Push, bro, that's he's preaching. It's
Yeah.
revelations.
Yeah.
True.
You know what I mean? Gold Watch. Listen to Gold Watch. I have a friend who loves Lupe, or loved Lupe, and he's like, Lupe is so deep. Listen to him, and then he listened to Gold Watch. He's like, nah, Lupe's lost it. He's sold out. Look at him talking about Gold Watch. I'm like, but bro, did you listen to the song? Do you understand what he's saying?
Not to the word, not to the title.
Listen to the song, the whole thing, not just the chorus, because it's so deep. But at the same time, the beat's nice. You can flow to that. You can play it at a chill session. I mean, it's not too
So why
heavy.
aren't we funding those artists?
That's the thing. We hold the power. We've got the revenue.
But
So
the thing
we
is,
can support the
Yeah.
right
No,
people.
But you vote with money. That's the real
We vote
ballot
with
in
money.
life.
Exactly.
We also pirate their albums.
yeah.
There you go.
Can I just
That's one.
everybody pirates everybody, but like people who like Beyonce will buy her album because they want that thigh on the cover or something like that.
What?
Actually, if you
I will buy an album if it's really, if I think it deserves my money. Even like,
Yes.
like
How often?
really.
How often
Yes.
does
You know
that-
what
It
it's like?
hasn't happened often, but the easier it's gotten to pirate, the less it's happened. But the last time I bought an album was Corinne Bailey Ray's The Sea.
Mm.
I felt it deserves. Sometimes, like you just think, like I had it before, like on my computer,
Mhm.
and I was like, no, this deserves an actual purchase.
CD.
Yes, and I spent money.
Me, I've got the system that I've developed where as soon as I start working, because I don't have money, that's why I don't spend money. As soon as I start working, there's albums, there's certain albums that have, I rate them with stars. Certain albums are no stars. Some of them are 1 star, some of them are 2 stars, some of them are 3 star. No star, when I start working, nothing will change. I have your album, it's fine.
Sure.
1 star, I will buy it in one format, probably CD. 2 star, I will buy it in a second format. So I'll buy the CD and the digital copy because you deserve my money that much. 3 star, CD, digital, and the record.
Sure.
I will look for the record. I must have this album in 3. That's how good this album is.
And also, most of us don't know now because we don't have record players, but apparently the quality of sound is very different
Mm.
to what we know now as music. My lecturer was telling us what you think these sounds coming out of your phone is real music. You must try listening to a record properly.
A properly recorded record.
properly recorded with.
Does that mean that the way a record sounds is different to how the actual instrument sounds?
What?
No, I think what they're trying to communicate here is
There's a
it
difference
sounds
in
different
quality.
from the CD.
Mm.
The CD, the phone version,
The record.
the record, they all sound
They have
different.
to cut
They-
them differently.
There are
So
things that you can hear
technology.
in one format that you can't hear in another format.
So the one closest to the original is the record.
Apparently so.
Oh, okay.
I can't
Ah,
say
some-
for sure.
Sometimes I feel like the person who said is old, right? Or a hipster.
A hipster.
Yes. People will tell you, no, not everybody. Okay, only 10% of the world is listening to records. The records are the best. Nothing wrong from records. Everything else, it sounds less. It's less than. Because we like records and no one else does.
So do you think in part it's the sentiment?
Yeah,
Not really.
a lot of it is a sentiment. Speaking as someone who grew up with records, speaking as someone who gets collects a lot of music, listen to Bob Marley's song "Stir It Up," right?
And the Wailers, why are they always excluded?
Okay, Bob Marley and the Wailers. Fine, Bob Marley and the Wailers "Stir It Up" on the 1970 Mang Mang album, and Bob Marley and the Wailers "Stir It Up" on the 1993 re-release, not of the same album but of the compilation, right? The other one has been cleaned up. It's been made to sound nice. The other one
Perfect.
sounds different. It's not perfect. It sounds different because of the inadequacy. The honest truth is it's an inadequacy of the equipment at the time. In 1976, the recording quality was much lower than it is today, right? And today's record is going to sound so much clearer. Just like how people will tell you, no, Star Wars episode 4, 5, and 6 are the best, right? And then, whereas Star Wars episode 1, 2, and 3 are whack, But if you look at the technology that was used, Star Wars Episode 1, 2, and 3 have great graphics. They were made now with computers of today. And then the old movies have puppets and stuff. But visually, looking at it, right, even though the story might slightly deteriorated over time, as in 1, 2, and 3 aren't as good as 4, 5, and 6, the first 3 were, the last 3 graphically was so much better than the first. But people will tell you, no, I grew up watching the first. The first is better. That's sentiment. The technology's improved. You can't really honestly argue that.
Well, I guess it's like Disney as well, because I mean,
Yeah.
they used to hand draw their stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think people also like you said, like with the sentiment, like I see that more as art than okay, let's just do something on a computer and make it talk and
Yes.
then play it. You know,
Yeah.
like you sketched every scene. Can you imagine that? That's why I would be willing to pay for something like that, because the amount of effort and creativity that goes into that. Because it's like music now. Anybody can get what do you call that
Virtual
program?
DJ.
Virtual DJ. Drop a couple of beats
Can
and
I-
you are a DJ.
Can I say exactly what you said with a different example?
Yeah.
Doctors. In the past, they had to hold you down, cut your leg. The tools were crude. You think they should be paid more than today, where they have anesthetics and robotic assistants?
Formula One drivers.
And they have better. Formula One drivers. Are they worse drivers now because the technology is so much better than they were 50 years ago?
Students.
Students.
Oh.
Is the quality of your degree worse because you've got Google and you've got this laptop and you've got a pen and you've got a computer and all these things that can help you?
Shoes.
Shoes. Why do we apply this standard only to art?
I cannot say anything about all the other examples, but because I am a student, I can say yes, as a student, definitely. I can
So
see the
your
difference.
degree is less.
Not necessarily the degree itself, but maybe me as a person, just because I've seen, like they say, my parents, the value that they attach to the education that they got and the way they did it, because of like you got an encyclopedia, dog, to
To
like
look for stuff.
research, you engaged with work. Now a simple Google search bar thing pops everything up, copy paste some things, cut, wada. You don't even understand half of the stuff you are putting together.
Okay,
So
you can do that.
It's dumbed it
But
down.
no,
as-
but that's just you. Now you can't take the individual experience and apply it across the board.
You can't tell me technology has not dumbed down a lot of things and a lot of people. You cannot say that it
Technology has dumbed down quite a lot of people who are getting the thing. In the past, if you didn't work hard enough, you couldn't get the thing. Now it's easier to get the thing. But that doesn't, for example, like with a student, right? I feel like we've strayed a little, but it's fine. With the student, you know, you do find lots of students who are cutting and pasting because it's so easy, you know, and they're going to make it through because it's so easy. But are these guys going to then be the groundbreaking researchers? Or is the guy who used Google, read through everything and actually understood it, going to go further than them? You know, you can still cut and paste and do the wrong thing because you don't understand. But it's kind of like with the artist. You get an artist who's got Photoshop and a Mac, and he's got all this technology, and you're thinking, this is so much easier than Leonardo da Vinci with his oil painting, right? But here's the truth: if you took a kid and you put him there, and he had no talent, and you took another person and they had the talent, right? They're still going to do a much better job with the same tools as the person who doesn't have the talent. The talent is still there. The talent is still necessary. You still need to have the knack for that thing. You still need to have the knack to be a producer. Anyone can produce now. You don't need a 500-piece orchestra which costs thousands. Anyone can produce. If you don't have the skill to produce, you're not going to produce good quality stuff, right? That's my view of technology. The notion that because there's technology that assists you, the person who is doing it, and everybody who's doing it with the technology, is not as good as the people who did it long ago. I mean, remove the technology, and then the people who only have virtual DJ because it's easy to download and they can play around with it, they don't exist anymore. Then you only get the guy who could afford to, or had the passion to, or had the work ethic to go and get a turntable and be a DJ. You know,
Get the Dr. Dre.
you get the Dr. Dre's, right?
But I think going back to like our original point, I think having like technology is great. I'm not trying to villainize technology in any way, but having such access to good technology that makes stuff much easier to produce is what makes it difficult to produce something of substance in entertainment. because back then you could study a music degree and people would go and watch you and pay you your salary.
Yes.
Like if you're a musician, you get proper cash as an artist. But now because it's like if you study music, it's like okay, you're
Really
obsolete. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not a
Yeah.
it's not a proper work art form anymore.
I agree with you on that, but it's also because right now in today's world, everything is used. It's so easy to generate content. Everything has a lot more user content to it. All pictures, photography. It used to be so expensive to take a photo that someone would sit and paint you. That was a lot cheaper. For someone to sit for 6 hours and paint you with paint was a lot easier than to take something out of your pocket, press 2 buttons, and have a picture of yourself. Have hundreds and thousands of pictures of yourself.
Oh,
Just
selfie
like
game.
that, right? And now because of that, you're going to keep posting these pictures, right? Is that selfie you took a Michelangelo painting? No.
I
No,
think
not
so.
even- not
No,
even.
I'm pretty.
Come on, girl.
Not,
I'm
not even.
pretty. So
That's not even the same
The-
thing. Like, is it like one of these world-class photos that everybody?
there's no doubt about it. I think so. What everybody else thinks is irrelevant. Thanks. Bye. Yeah. Continue
Yeah,
with your
but
point.
I mean, there's so much more user-generated content, right? It shouldn't take away from the actual professionals. That's kind of like saying, because I have a video, I'm going to shoot my own series, right?
And it'll be better.
And it'll be better than watching the series they're producing.
Mm.
If you have a bedroom and a mic and you record your own album, you will never record it. You have the technology. The technology is freely available. You can mix it, you can try. But it will never be as good as the people in the studio that cost $1 million to make
Sure.
with a 50-piece band.
Yeah.
You know, it won't sound that good. It'll be there. People can get access to it. A lot of people probably like it a lot more than the very expensively produced stuff. But the world is such that, and entertainment is such that there's an influx and increase of user-generated content. And because of that, we tend to say, okay, now we're going to, it dilutes the pool, right? Now, singing isn't amazing. You have to sing really well.
Yeah.
You know, being a rapper isn't amazing. Everybody's a rapper. You know, you need to be a great rapper. Being a poet isn't amazing. You have to be a great poet, you know. It's kind of like when medical school started. When we improved medicine, not everybody could afford to learn the new improved medicine. So those guys were excellent doctors. They got more patients. And then the people who didn't have it fell away. Then we built medical associations and we have the profession of medicine as we have it today. We do have a musician's profession. You know, you ask yourself, this person who's doing singing at Tux, what are they going to do with the rest of their life? A professionally produced album has backup singers. It's not some kid they picked off the street. That's
Yeah.
not how it works. The problem is there's so much user-generated stuff. We don't understand fully how the entertainment industry works.
Get the background stuff.
It's like sports. You know, sports is such that
Physios,
you know you get the physios, you get the
psychologists.
psychologists, you get all these professionals in sports.
But you only get to see the player.
You only get
Yeah.
to see the one player. And also, there's so many people who can play sports. You can go outside now and kick a ball. That's playing the sport of soccer. You're not probably playing it within the regulations of the professionals, but there's a difference between you, the amateur, and you, the professional. And that is where entertainment gets fuzzy. There's an amateur and there's a professional. You know, you can. Entertainment is one of those things where you can do it. You can do it. You have the physical ability to do it. You can never probably do it at that level. You don't have the talent to do it that well. You don't have the talent to do it well enough to get paid for it. And not everybody who can do it that well will get paid for it. You know.
Idols has shown us this
Yes.
on a number of occasions.
Can I just say,
Mm.
I've made this observation. I don't watch idols that often anymore because of this observation. Like obviously there's the audition phase,
Auditions, yes.
and then that ends, and then there's the voting phase. During this voting phase, before the top 4, I think, there is no verification of the voting. And then from then on, when the prizes get like proper serious, then they bring in the auditors and everything. I have noticed this. I don't know if anybody else has.
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
I
but
don't,
anyway.
I don't. Idols ends for me at auditions.
There was this other.
Wooden spoon.
Yeah, wouldn't like
There
it.
was this other thingy.
Wouldn't mind,
I think it was last year's season 10 or something. Where Unati said, "Remember that it's not just about the singing; it's about the whole package.
Yes.
So you can be the best singer in the world, But if you look like a foot, shun.
Yeah, that hence I was saying to, I don't know who I was talking to this week. I was like, the idea of idols, I think it's a farce. Like, I could go there and say, yeah, I can sing. And in my mind, I'd be like, if I get there, I slay. I have that much more chances of winning. But then if I don't put my all forward, in other words, if my appearance is not on point, if my attitude towards life and people in the public as well is not on point, they won't vote for me. So I think, and also more so because I believe that Idols is now a popularity contest. It's not even about talent anymore. If you have that thing, that draws people to you, not because you can sing, but because you are just alive, you're breathing, then they vote for you.
Every single competition or any event that is designed by humans, which starts off with the basis of success being the most popular, being picked by the most people,
Sure.
will always end up becoming a popularity contest. We see it in politics, we see it in entertainment, you see it everywhere. If your success is determined by having people vote for you, right? Regardless of what the activity is, the person who becomes the most successful over time will not necessarily be the best at it.
Sure.
Will just be the most popular, the one who can get people to pick them the most, regardless of how good they are at the actual job.
Also, about idols, this show has just been bothering me for a while. I don't know which season it was when TD was on it.
I remember TD.
I
remember
was
TD.
a
She
pretty
was
good singer.
amazing.
But then it was at that stage where the auditing had started.
Yeah.
And then they showed they had to go back to their primary schools or something. And then she was genuinely afraid of crowds. So she didn't want them to jump onto her. So she was like, guys, when I get out, please don't jump on me. That wasn't necessary. You didn't have to show that in the show. But they showed it because I feel she didn't have the look they wanted.
She had the talent, not
Yeah,
the look.
not the
She was a
look.
big girl.
Yeah, but then since video became big, artists have become about looks. I'll give you an example, Nina Simone. If Nina Simone busted up now, started singing, not even those old songs that we all love, the new songs right now that everybody loves, she wouldn't go far at all. With her talent, she wouldn't go far because she doesn't have that look that everybody wants from a singer. People expect a female singer, to look a certain way. In the olden days, you were listening to a record, you probably wouldn't see Nina Simone until like the early 2000s. The videos became big.
Sure.
So it didn't matter. She just had to have the sound. Now she's got the sound, but she doesn't have the look. And that's the thing. Entertainment is sold like that. It's sold as you have to have the look. Soccer players, the best soccer players happen to also be the most attractive ones. There have been some very unattractive looking soccer players.
That is very true, actually.
But they won't get as much. Look at Ribéry. Ribéry is one of the best soccer players in the world. He won't get as much video time as.
But I feel like Ronaldinho, he's not the best looking, but the level of skill and enjoyment that he has for what he does makes everything else unnecessary. But there's also exceptions to the rule. How you're supposed to, I forgot her name though. She's from the UK. This lady, she was on one of the talent shows. She's an old lady. Like she got onto stage and she's like, "I'm gonna sing."
Susan Boyle.
Yeah, Susan Boyle.
Oh.
Yeah, and then Simon was like, "Oh, okay," and then she ended up winning the competition because of that. But yeah.
I think it's X Factor. Is it X Factor?
Yeah.
I appreciate X Factor for that because they take the weirdest, strangest looking creatures and then they'll still listen to it and be like, let's go for it. But I also feel like this whole you need to be the whole package deal look thing also comes from the fact that like capitalism has seeped into entertainment. So you're a singer, but you are promoting KFC on the side. So obviously you have to have
look,
you can't just be like your art form is not your end all.
Look at tennis. Look at Serena. She doesn't have that typical look, so she'll never get as many endorsements as Maria Sharapova.
Sure.
As much as she beats Maria Sharapova up and down the court all day long.
It's like Ronaldo
and Messi.
Ronaldo had surgery to look the way he does, but had he stayed who he was, Messi would have probably gotten the endorsements, and not him.
Sure.
Slice at when KFC starts backing you, that's when you know you've made it, right? You've made it in life. Your Acha and KFC ads like
Yo, KFC, do you guys
Yes.
mind sponsoring my engineering career? I'm gonna go places. I'm gonna make places. Yeah.
I'll make you a building.
Just like that. Same time.
Let me just throw a question out there. If you were to be famous, what would you be famous for and why?
My opinion.
Your opinion.
My opinion.
So you'd be talk
Professional
show type.
asshole.
Talk show type.
Not talk show.
Okay.
But does it have to be in entertainment?
Are you famous? It could be anything.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking. Like, if you would be famous, what would you be famous
Politics.
for? Politics.
I would want to be a politician. Actually, one of my biggest dreams has always been to be a dictator.
My goodness.
I thought about that. I actually thought about that. Spoke to my dad once about it. I was like, I know that as being the president, you have to consider everyone, but
Sure.
I don't think I'm that nice. At
No,
some
not
point,
even.
I'm gonna have to think about how I would like things to go.
Ganga.
And if
And
people
jealousy.
don't follow, I could get pretty angry.
I want to be like on Gaddafi levels. Dictatorship.
Yeah.
Ooh, I want to talk about Gaddafi, but that's
That's what.
for another day. It's going to take way too long.
Okay.
What would you be?
Okay, I'll say I'll be a poet,
Okay.
but not because, I love poetry, but because, like you said, my opinion, my worldview.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also
Yeah.
want to be a rapper.
Really?
I want to be a dictator or a rapper.
A dictating rapper.
A dictating rapper. No, a rapping dictator. Yes. Yes.
Alright.
I'll take over your country. I'll take over your country. Yeah.
I'll run this bitch
Yeah, I run this.
and build a KFC on your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drops
yeah,
mic.
Yeah.
Baka. Endorsement. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
What I would be famous for, probably being president. Yeah, not a dictator. I'm gonna be nice.
Politics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody wants to be famous for politics. But guys, honestly, like I asked earlier, this time I want people to answer. The politician, the entertainer. Who is more important?
Look, in our eyes, or how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Answer the
That's the
question
thing.
how you want to.
Like
Politician.
for me personally, I don't see why we need a government, but as it is now, I'd say the politician.
The politician is more important than the
Then the singer.
entertainer.
Yes.
And you?
Politician.
Politician.
Yeah.
You?
I struggle to compare them. Only because, it's like comparing a carrot and an apple. They serve different purposes.
Yep.
So,
You can eat them both.
you
They're
can
both
eat them
healthy.
both.
If you want night vision, what would you eat?
A carrot. But,
No, but
if,
apples help with the eyes too. Just
Okay, sorry.
like, I don't know. Okay, let me put it like this. I feel like people put too much emphasis on entertainment and too much value to entertainment, but I feel like it's incredibly important. Like, we need it. But we also really need politicians as well. Like, it's incredibly important. But I don't think we can live without the other. So that's why I'm struggling to be like, which one do I want?
this is different.
I pick the entertainer
Okay.
with no shame.
Right.
We need leaders.
Mhm.
We do need leaders. Leadership is important. As a social animal, I think like I say this every podcast, but as a social animal, yes, we need leaders. We don't need politicians. Politicians are basically people who are entertaining us in the field of leadership.
But as it is now,
As
the
it
way
is
things
now,
are now, what would you choose?
I would still choose the entertainers.
Okay.
Alright.
On that note,
You know where to find us: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Sharp.
bye bye, peace, love, and maswiti.